It's time to move the Elsa Craig onions out of these small modules, because as you can see they're starting to get damaged and knocked about a bit. So what I've done is got myself some compost. I put this in the tray yesterday up at the allotment, and I brought it home, and it's been in the dining room all night yesterday and all this morning, so it should be at the same temperature as the compost that they're coming out of, so that's not going to cause any sort of transplant shock or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is put one into each cell. I've got 3 trays like this set ready. I don't think I'll need them, but I've got them just in case. And then I'm just going to put some water in the bottom of the tray with the capillary matting, and then just pop them in and then take them up to the greenhouse tomorrow morning when the weather perks up a little bit. It's currently 3 degrees here, but it's a really strong cold wind, so I don't want to take them up today. Plus I don't want to be hanging around up there any longer than I need to. So first thing I'll do is I'll just show you how I do it. I'll just show you one, and then I'll just do the rest off camera. So when I sowed these, I used sieved compost, and the reason I use sieved compost is because it makes it so much easier when you're trying to split the seedlings apart, because all the roots will be tangled up in here. As you can see, it's really easy just to pull them out, and the roots come out perfectly. I'll start at the far end. And just dip a little hole. Pop it in, and Bob your uncle. I've got some more composter, so what I'll do is I'll just fill all the cells up once I've got them all in. I'm only burying them up to where they were in the small seed tray. I brought myself a new mic over Christmas. Unfortunately, I plugged it in, but it wasn't charged up, so for this section the audio didn't record. It's just showing you all the onions that have been pricked out and put into the seed tray, really. Hello there, it's Sunday afternoon. I've just popped down. I'm just dropping off the onions, the leeks and the cabbage. Just going to pop them into the greenhouses in the polytunnel, give them a good watering, and then I'm going to go back up and sort out my chillies. I did actually plant them yesterday and filmed the whole section, and unfortunately the microphone had no charge in it, so I didn't record any sound. So I'm just going to go through the types that I've got when I get back home, but I'll just have a quick look now, and you can see the setup that I've got in the polytunnel and the greenhouse. So in this first tray here we've got the Primo 3 cabbage and the Snowball cauliflower. There's a couple of them that haven't come up, so all I've done is I've just popped in a couple of seeds into the empty cells and give it all a good water. Leeks are looking really good. That's the Musselburgh leeks. That's pretty good germination on there. I wish I could say the same about the red onions. And that entire cell, I've got 4 that have germinated, as opposed to the Elsa Craig, which I've got at least 1 in every cell. Some have got 2 or 3 in, and we're just starting to get some of the first true leaves on them. So I'm just going to leave them in here, pull the cover down and let them get on with it. We're on for a good week this week. I don't think the temperature is going to drop below 4 at any point, and we're sort of looking at 9 or 10 degrees through the day and maybe 4 or 5 degrees at night, so it's going to be perfect conditions. So I'm just going to leave these in here and zip them down. Let's go and have a look in the greenhouse. So in the grow tent in the greenhouse, got the Elsa Craig. Again, really good germination with those. Utah Jumbo, got quite a few come through there. I think we've got 1 in each cell. Not so good for the Bedfordshire Champion, but again, any empty cells, I've just popped a couple of extra seeds in. I'm going to leave them to get on with it. and then we've got the Utah Giants, Bedford Champion and Red Brunswick. And as with the others, any empty cells, I've just dropped a couple of seeds in. So hopefully they should be all right. Each tray underneath has got a capillary matting in. So before I go tonight, I'll give it a good watering, and then I'll pop down probably on Wednesday just to top up the water. Yeah, so things are starting to progress nicely in here. So as you can see there, we're currently at 60F or 15C inside the greenhouse, so it's quite nice. So I'll just get these all covered down and zipped up, have a bit of a hunt around the plot, see what's to be done, and I'm going to pop home and film the chillies. Right, while I'm down here and the weather's nice, I'm going to see if I can sort out the compost piles. I'm going to turn them. Hopefully I should be able to get all 3 bays into 2. That one's virtually full. That one's sort of not far off, but this one's only half full. So what I might do is I might take what's in here and put it into there, but then first off I'm going to empty this into there. So each pile is going to move one to the left. Just give this a bit of a mix round. So this is a mixture of the compost that we purchased from the local recycling centre and some horse manure that's at the bottom. So I'll give that a good mix and then pull this over. It's lost all its temperature now. It's actually, strangely enough, it's colder inside the compost heap than it is outside today. So hopefully when spring comes I can get some more greens to put in to heat it up again. But it's reasonably well rotted down. Yeah, so I'm just going to make a start on that. Just having a bit of a look around. I think I've had all that I'm going to get from the Romanesco cauliflower. Obviously the frost has got to this one. There's nothing on that one or this one. I was hoping if I chop the top off I'd get a little bit more growth coming through, but it doesn't seem to be the case. And again, that was no good really, the frost had that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the plants out, cut them off, leave the roots in, and then just fill the bed up with the compost from the first bay. Get it nice and level with the top of the raised bed, and then just cover it over for spring. Not sure what I'm going to put in there, but if it's a good deep bed, I may well put some carrots or something with a long root, carrot, parsnip, that type of thing. I'm not going to put brassicas in there again next year. Yeah, so I'll just I'll get these cut down and get this bed sorted out, and then that gives me a little bit more room in the compost bin. That's one more bed covered and ready for spring. So this is a no dig bed since I put it in. All I've done is added horse manure or compost throughout the year, so this is hopefully going to be fabulous for the, like I say, the long root vegetables. I might tidy up the next bed next to it as well. It's got a few cabbages in, but it doesn't look like they're going to do much. I think I might just harvest what I can out of this bed and cover it. So I've cleared everything out of this bed. Wasn't really anything to harvest. There was 2 heads, but they weren't properly formed, but I suppose they'll be okay for a meal today. So what I'm going to do now is just pull out some of the surface weeds and just dress it with the compost, and then that's another bed done and ready. I'm just going to leave them open now. I've not got any more of the black membrane on this plot, and it's only going to be a few weeks before stuff's starting to go into them anyway, so I'll just get those couple of weeds out and get this bed sorted. It's another rat. Just dug it out of my compost. Obviously it's been dead for a little while, so I'm just going to dig a hole and bury it because I don't want any other creatures getting hold of it. Just put it somewhere out the way. I don't know what's happened here, but there's another one there. God knows how many more I'm going to dig up. So I'll dig another hole and bury this one. There's number 3. And, as you can see, he's been in there for a while. There's maggots in it and everything. That's probably what the smell was. So here we go, another big hole. I'm going to bury him as well. That's the first bed full. I'm going to leave the top off for a week or so, just let it dry out a little bit because it is quite moist in there. And I've got nowhere to put that, so I'll just give it a good turn around with the fork. And now I'm going to move this onto it, and hopefully all the cardboard that's in the top of that will help dry it out a little bit. I'm just hoping I don't find any more creatures dead in the bottom of this one. Well, that's took a good hour to shift that. There's a lot more in there than I thought there was, especially with the weight of it, with it being so damp. So let's just get this one done and then I can finally go home. So that was a bit of a job. My back's a bit sore now, but we managed to get it done. We've pulled everything out of the left bin into the central bin, and everything out of the central bin into the right hand bin. As I said, I'm just going to leave the top off that because it's quite wet. So hopefully over the next couple of days, with us having some milder weather, it should dry out a little bit. The roof will keep the rain off it, so assuming the temperatures get up somewhere where they're supposed to be, should help a little bit. Right, so now I'm finally going to get off home. Right, so I'm back at home having a nice cup of tea and a slice of toast after a hard day at the allotment. So we're just going to quickly go through the chilli varieties that I should be going this year. I've popped them into the small green modules and I've put one seed into each module, so hopefully if they all come through I shall have 4 of each plant, and then I'm going to pick either the 1 or 2 of the strongest and grow them on. So we've got Havana Gold and Spangles, Hot Lemon, Chocolate Habanero, Pablano, Bishop's Crown. I've got 3 lots of Scotch bonnet, so I'm going to grow more of those. A Cayenne pepper, Machu pichu and Slowburn. So they're the varieties that I should be growing this year. I'm just going to pop them on the Super 7 until they germinate, and then once they're through I'm going to put them under the grow lights. And by putting them in these little cells, it's just going to make it a little bit easier when it comes time to pot them on. Instead of having to fiddle around with delicate little seedlings, I'll just wait till the roots have filled the cell and I can just lift it out and pop it inside one of the smaller pots. But it's getting pretty late now on Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, so I'm going to get the video edited up and get it posted. So thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you again next week. Thank you very much and goodbye.